Hello everybody, welcome back to Bull Bear Trader. So today I am going over the stocks for tomorrow earnings, and I'm gonna go over about 12 of them. So you can see we got a big week and then the week ahead. So there will be daily videos for all of these earnings, and I'll do my best to show you just my prediction for each of them. Let's start with JP Morgan. Alright, so JP Morgan low was 202, now it's around 288, top was about 300, so we talk about 50%, 50%. So it has been going upward, uptrend past the previous high, right? And you can see right here, there's a clear support of the previous high. All right. So there's one thing that I just noticed. If you look and you draw this, do you see anything? Well, it head and shoulder, but inverse head and shoulder. We got left shoulder here, and this is the head, and the right shoulder is actually here and here. Okay. All right. The inverse head and shoulder. And what you see is this was the resistance, right? The orange line. It broke out, came back, tested it, then bounced. So most likely we'll have more runway, and we'll test this previous high at 298.96. Usually for head and shoulder, what do is we measure the head to the neckline, and then we bring it over and we put it right here. So if it complete this move, we might see it at 333. Well, so here I expect a bounce at least to 296 or even to 300, and then maybe pull back here and then bounce again. But this is the estimate of this whole move, 333. We're not sure it's gonna play out, but you can see, let me zoom out a little bit, right? Head, inverse head and shoulder, and then the whole move up. So I'll take this out for now, and I got my long term to complete this inverse head and shoulder, but the short term is 300. So we got to bounce, pull back, and probably bounce again. So here for the earning itself, it's a little bit overbought These you can see right here is also have like a little bit of bull flag. If I draw like this, oops. If I draw it like this, you can see it's still within the flag pattern and moving up. So we expect an up move. But, and here's the but, even though it's like this, but if we have any not really good negative outlook, we might see it come down. Where at about right here at 269. The chance of this is let's say 30%, but it might happen because right now a lot of people are positive, but it's overbought. We switch to weekly, we can see is pretty overbought. However, it can stay overbought for a long time, right? So we don't know. But if any negative outlook, we may see a pullback. All right, but this is only 30%. 70% we most likely see 300. Next we have Citi Bank, and you can see it's a little bit similar to JP Morgan, but we don't really have that inverse head and shoulder. It's a little bit look like it, but not really. What I see is the bull flag as well, and most likely another bounce. We don't know, but we may see. Again, pretty, if I switch to weekly, is overbought, and if you look back, every time it's overbought like this, we gotta pull back, right? Even here and even here. So even though with, again, same for JP Morgan Chase, if we got negative outlook or just decent, we may see a pullback. And where? I would say most likely to 80. All right. So this is about, I would say about 45%. Maybe make it 50%. If it go up, we might see it probably be at around $95. So 95 for good earning, good outlook. Negative outlook and just okay earning, we may see it at 80. Next is Wells Fargo. Same story, but it seems like it's a little bit weaker compared to the other one, right? If I draw the resistance line here, and then I draw the support here. So you can see it's been bouncing here inside this wedge, this open wedge. Same story. Look like it might hit a short-term top, and again it need to have really good earning. I see a pullback a little bit more for Wells Fargo. Okay, so I would say about 60% pullback and 40% rally, just based on the chart and also based on the outlook. All right, so this is for Wells Fargo. Next, we have Street. Same thing, right? But it did a little bit better. It's about 10% above the previous high in February, January. And we also have a little bit of a flag. But if we switch to the weekly, same story. You can see these the stock market are kind of overbought in general. So we might have, and if you look at the candles right here, let me zoom in a little bit. This is basically moving sideways and testing this previous 110, right? It looked like it couldn't break out. So it need a really good earning, or we might see it back to about 104. I would say 115 for a bounce like this, 5 to 7%. Okay, so 117 if we have really good outlook. And then 104 if we get negative outlook or just a decent earning only, because the stock has been way overbought. They kind of raise up the expectation, so the earning had to be much higher to climb even higher than this current price. So about 65-70% of pullback, 35% of a rally. All right, now is Blackrock. So many people favorite stocks right here. And what do I see? Pretty much the same story. You can see very overbought. It's about this high, and then over here. Oh, again, same story. Most likely a pullback, unless we got really good earning and outlook. All right, so it might have a little bit of ceiling space to climb, but not much. So even if it's climb for short term, we will have a pullback, or after earning, it will pull back to about 1080 or as low as 1020. So again, I'm expecting a pullback here. Bank of New York Mellon. The chart is actually could be pretty good. We might have an inverse head and shoulder here, right? If I extend here, we got a bounce here. This is the left shoulder, the head, and then the broad right shoulder. So this might have a potential for a breakout. But it's also have due to overbought. Let me see if it's really overbought. It is pretty overbought as well. So I would say pullback still about 60%. Coming down to, I would say 90 if it's really bad number. Okay. If the number came out stellar, we may see it go to 100. But again, beware of the inverse head and shoulder here. It's not that defined, but there's a chance. So if the number coming hot, we might see it. But it's only about 30%. All right, next is Albertson. Wow, we only like halfway. Albertson, not as good as other. You can see because of inflation data and everything else, people cut back, losing job. If I draw the, this is for the top, the resistance, and this is for the support. You can see that it's broke out of this wedge resistance and testing the top orange line. So I would say it's gonna be a 50-50. Right now with a lot of inflation data, if it come in just okay, we might see a bounce. Back to, I would say 23, 50. All right. Otherwise, we will see about 21. So for Albertson, it's going to be 50-50. I don't see any side is more favored than the other one. Ericsson look like it's oversold. No, actually not. It's just in the middle. Doesn't look like it's doing well. So if I draw this here, and then I draw the bottom, I would say it might have a little bit to fall, right? So more downside than up. So more downside, I would say about 70%, and then 30% upside. So 750 is for the lower limit, and the top limit is about 820. Not a lot of movement, but most likely is we're just bouncing between these orange line. Yeah, not a lot of movement, even though, wow, it came down really low. Let's see. Yeah, so not a lot of movement. JB Hunt. Well, you can see it's been downtrend. Let me see. So it's been a downtrend, came up a little bit, but okay. So look like it's hitting this resistance and a little bit of overbought. So I am seeing a pullback here. 140 for a low limit. If the number coming is really good, I would say it will see about 160 or 164. All right, so I'm seeing a more chance of a pullback, about 70%, 30% if the number coming hot. But if it does, we have a breakout, and if it go to, let's see, 164, yeah, 164 is a decent number. I see that happening, but most likely a pullback to about 145. The lower limit would be 140. Next would be Fulton Financial. All right, so that's for middle term. You can see try to broke out and then pull back. And today is a little bit over, and we have to wait for at least a couple of days to confirm. But it's overbought a little bit. Long term is also overbought, so I do see a pullback. So again, like a lot of other stock, we see most likely a pullback. So about 18. And the pullback here probably about 75%. If the number is really good, we might see 21. Yeah, so you can see the move flag here, and then the sideways move, then shot up. This is also like a W. So if it pull back, it will pull back about 18 because it's right at the middle of the W. So that sounds about right. So most likely we may see a pullback. Pinnacle Financial. Let's see. We might have. Okay, so this kind of looked like inverse head and shoulder, and now it's breaking out. Even though it's a bit overbought, it's actually pretty overbought, but it can still run. Most likely, we will see it come back down to this line at about 115, and then bounce again. And if that is gonna go to 127. So for earning, I think it needs really good number. Otherwise, we will see about 115 or as low as 109, 110. So that's most likely a pullback, but I'm not sure it'll go below the orange line. If it does, we will see 110. Otherwise, we see it pull back a little bit at 115 and then a bounce. All right, the last one is Washington Financial, I believe. It looks like it's pretty good. It did not. I mean, it kind of came back to the previous level, but it's not. It's still in a bit downtrend. The current trend is a little bit better. We can see it's almost look like a bear flag. I mean, a bull flag here, and it's broke out of the short-term trend, right? However, it's been overbought a little bit. We may see a pullback to about, say, 29.25. And this is about 60%. If they have good number, we see 32.60 for the top limit. All right, wow, that was a lot. So thanks for watching. Please hit the like, share, and I will see you the next video. Bye bye.